So yeah, today I'm here in Brussels, actually close to Flagey. As you can see, there is still a lot of life in the city, and I'm going to try and capture some long exposure shots and also some double exposures. We are going to need a good and steady tripod. I have the Siri 5C that I'm actually recording this video with. And you will also need a remote shutter cable for your camera, because this way I can do some longer exposures without shaking or accidentally moving the camera. And for the double exposures, I mark the first frame of the roll, so when I'm loading it back for the second round of shooting, I can line up exactly my frames and hopefully get some good results. So the idea is to shoot the first frame at night, because I think we have some good contrast and also some good negative space on the images to fill in later. So there's almost no lights here. Even though I have like a 500 speed film, it's going to be like a 10-second exposure probably, or something like that. I don't know, I just like the vibe. I like how the lights falling off here, and so yeah, let's pop it. Well, I'm probably not going to do this for an entire roll, because I don't know, I'm not 100% sure about the alignment of the frames and all kind of technicalities. For the second half of the roll, I'm just going to take some long exposures, probably some moving subjects. I will try to experiment. As you can see, there are a lot of cars still around, so I will try and compose them nicely or something like that. People moving around and yeah, this kind of stuff. So as I reach the end of the roll, this is the part where you have to load it back in. So it's honestly, it's not that difficult. First of all, you just start and winding the camera back, and when you are starting to approach the end of the roll, or like the beginning of the roll, you will feel that it starts to become a bit harder to turn. There will be like a click. That's where I'm at. That's when it's going to be released from this winded part. Let's just do that. Not wind the entire film back into the canister, because then I'm not going to be able to get it out again and load it back in, so that's where we are being extremely careful with this. Now I can open it, let's see. Now I want to load the film back in with my original marked frame. This is probably a tricky part, but let me try. So let's hope for the best. And here I have the first few photos of my roll that I want it to be a double exposure. It's kind of the same composition that I shot on film, so I'm going to try and expose this sky part, you know, when it's dark and where the film is not exposed. I developed the roll, and I have the sketch in front of me. First of all, they all became really dark. I'm like 90% sure that it's a developing issue. I think I might have not have the right temperature for the developer, and that's why the negatives are really thin. And They almost feel like they were pool processed, or they were pool processed actually. And after some editing, some of these long exposures actually came out kind of nicely. If you try to ignore the grunge and the bubbles and all this kind of shit. The double exposures unfortunately didn't line up at all, as you can see, and also sometimes the exposure difference between the two photos were a bit too high, so that's why sometimes one of the shots are more visible than the first one, for example. So yeah, this is how the photos turned out. I'm sorry that it's a bit disappointing, but I hope that the video was still enjoyable, and see you in the next one.